how a single engineer brought down Twitter. Elon Musk's steep layoffs have left Twitter with so few engineers that only one person was on a major project involving the platform's API. So there have been some massive shutdowns of the platform recently. January 3rd, Android users temporarily couldn't load new tweets. February 8th, an error message that told users they were over a daily limit. February 15th, tweets stopped loading. February 18th, timeline broke and replies disappeared. March 1st, timeline stopped working. And then, what was it? Like, I think March 6th, March 5th, the platform broke again. Where is it in this document? Right. So, in many ways, so this was on, the last outage was on Monday, which would have been, the 5th or something. 5th or 6th. Where is it? So, I lost. I lost that shit. Where is it? This type of outage has become so frequent that I think we're all numb to it, a current employee says. And those are only the service outages. Other issues, such as the one that led Musk tweets to be more visible on the time. Oh, yeah, right. When when they changed the way that tweet promotion worked, and everybody, no matter whether they're following Elon or not, was seeing nothing but his tweets. That was a fun time as well. In many ways, wait, there is a quote in. I should have found the quote and like highlighted or something. Here it is. So, the change in question, this is the API change, was part of a project to shut down free access to the Twitter API, which, for the record, still hasn't happened, has been delayed 3 times now. 3 times? 2 times? No, I think it's been delayed 3 times. On February 1st, the company announced it will no longer support free access to its API, which effectively ended the existence of third-party clients. I know it's still working because my cross-poster with Mastodon still works, and dramatically limited the ability of outside researchers to study the network. The company's been building a new paid API for developers to work with. I have extreme doubts they're building a new paid API, considering how many times they've tried to mess with the API with the shutdown. I think it's the same API. And when they try to do something, they just push it out to the live system and just hope nothing goes badly. I don't know this for a fact, and if someone happens to see this who's working at Twitter right now, does Twitter still have like a test environment? Because it seems like every time a major change happens to the platform, it's just pushed out and breaks it. Like, completely shuts down the platform. It feels like they don't have a test environment right now and are using the live system as their test environment. But in a sign of just how deep Elon Musk cuts the company have been, only one site reliability engineer has been staffed on the API project. On Monday, the engineer made a bad configuration change that basically broke the Twitter API. The change had cascading consequences inside the company, bringing down much of Twitter's internal tools, along with the public-facing APIs. This is a big part that indicates to me that they don't have a test environment. Like, sure, bad configuration changes can make their way out to the live system, without a doubt. But most of the time, things like this will be caught. But I guess if you're the one reliability engineer, you're the one person who needs to sign off on whether your work is good, which doesn't exactly make you a reliability engineer, it just makes you a regular engineer. So, on Slack, engineers responded with variations of crap and Twitter is down. Twitter's down the entire thing as they scrambled to fix the problem. Musk was furious, we're told. Here we go. Here's a fun part. So, Elon Musk tweeted this. Also, Lex Friedman said, reply as well, which is hilarious. I love Lex. Lex is a great podcast. A small API change had massive ramifications. The code stack is extremely brittle for no good reason. We'll ultimately need a complete rewrite. So, because of a configuration change that was probably done without a test environment, the solution to that is burn it to the ground and rebuild it. Now, the problem with burning it to the ground and rebuilding it is if you don't know why it's so bad, what you're going to build is going to be as, if not worse. You don't just throw away your entire software stack because of a single problem. You work out why those problems exist and then deal with the pieces of the stack as they need to be dealt with. I think Mudahar was the one who described Elon like this. Elon feels a lot like one of those middle managers who sort of just shows up in the office, not really knowing what's going on. Also saying things like code stack is extremely brittle. It's just like you're throwing in tech words for the sake of it. But it's kind of like one of those middle managers who just show up in the office and they don't really know what's going on. Like, they think they know what's going on, but they don't actually know. So you just say, like, the code's rendering. We're defragging the code base. Just you throw out terms that make it seem like you're doing something productive, and they're like, yes, good job, keep doing that. That's how it feels like Elon kind of is right now, where he's great at certain things, like, Tesla, great company, the AI stuff, the, like, self-driving, great at making flamethrowers, great at all these things, but I don't think he knows what he's doing when it comes to running a social media platform. And every time something new happens to this service, it leads me to believe that he's kind of just winging it, and just, it hasn't fallen apart completely yet. He hasn't fired enough people where the platform just completely collapses in on itself. But it seems like he's getting pretty close. He's running out of reliability engineers to fire. Like, you can't get rid of this guy. If he's, like, the only one who's involved in the API project, you can't get rid of him. You don't have anyone to replace him. But to give a more of an indication on how much the site is collapsing, last year, it's great this existed. Last year, Twitter gave the ability to access the platform through Tor. Some websites have this. A lot of news websites will have this. And sure, it's still accessing Twitter through Tor, so if you log in, you're still giving Twitter your data. But if you don't, you're just examining the website. Being able to access through Tor was great, and for certain people was incredibly important for, accessing Twitter. You can argue that accessing Twitter is not incredibly important, but hey, let's just go with Twitter being important. Now, here's the important part. Heavy emphasis on that, could access Twitter through Tor. You can't anymore. Twitter just let its privacy and security protecting Tor service expire. The Tor project says it's contacted Twitter about renewing the site's certificate. So if we go to the Onion site address, let's check it right now. You can't see this, but if I window capture, you're seeing my notes right now. And we go privacy error? Where's the window? The fuck is the window? This one? Yes, here we go. Your connection is not private. Attackers might be trying to steal your information from the Onion address here. For example, passwords, messages, or credit cards. Cert date invalid. They let the cert expire, so the cert doesn't work. You can no longer use Twitter on Tor. Now, the Tor project did try to contact them. Here is the problem, though. I can't spell. Tor project. Here is the problem, though. So Twitter no longer has a communications department to ask about the change. The Onion site is no longer available, seemingly with no plans to renew it. The Tor project has reached out to Twitter to look into bringing the Onion version of the social media platform back online, said communications director, I'm just adding in words, communications director Pavel Lazonev in a statement. People who rely on Onion services for an extra layer of protection and guarantee that they are accessing the content they are looking for now have one fewer way of doing so. You can still visit twitter.com via a browser running Tor, but you won't get the added benefits a Tor-specific Onion site offers. Despite the Tor project's efforts to reach Twitter and resurrect the service, its future doesn't seem rosy. The people who built it, at least those I interacted with, are all gone. Security engineer Alec Muffet, who helped launch the service last year, told The Verge over Twitter direct message. I'm pretty sure it's going to stop working totally at some point unless Elon takes an interest. Twitter has slashed its headcount in multiple rounds of layoffs, including members of core operational teams, and it's had problems with the basic stability of the main site, let alone its Tor alternative. It seems to me that I wouldn't be surprised if Elon didn't even know that the Tor aspect even existed. I don't think this is even Elon just not liking Tor. I feel like he didn't even know that Twitter had a Tor portal to access it, and just let it expire and fired everyone on the team because, I don't know, maybe they just didn't have enough production in some other aspect that he felt like was really important.